I have a serious question for some of you guys out there. Why do you hate your wives and girlfriends so much? Now, as someone who has amassed big followings on different platforms of the internet, I often get guys who are in relationships, some more serious than others. Well, clearly none of them are serious if they're coming to my DMs, but yeah, I get them in my DMs. Saying things like, I wish I could leave my wife for you. Reginald, you are 43 and balding. Your wife loved you, even through that. I will not. Number one, I don't like older men, but that's a topic for another day. I have so many reasons. But number two, and most importantly, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. Nah, I'm vain. The balding thing did it for me. I'm lying, but nah, I don't know you. So like, don't leave your wife for me. And then there are the people who will like tell me random facts about their wife. Like they'll bring the wife up, they'll compare, they'll even send me pictures of their wife. Like, does your wife know you're sending strange women pictures of her on the internet? Sometimes they'll do dangerous things, like on Twitter, where they'll just post the picture of their wife in the replies. Like, stop. Do you know that you have now exposed a picture of your wife who did not give consent to be posted to a comment section where a bunch of randoms can now make fun of her? Like, some of you, you're not thinking hard enough before you do these things. But anyway, this reminds me of a story. Now, this is a funny story I have. So there was this guy back when I was younger. He played for an academy for a club in London. I love giving just enough details in my story to where anyone who knows me would know who I'm talking about, but like, or maybe you'd be able to guess. Or not, I don't know. It depends how well you know me. But I love doing that because, yeah, I told it. What's gonna happen now? There's this guy in it. He sent me emojis. Just little emojis. But the flirtatious kind in it. This was way back then. He sent me the eyes emojis. Right? So I sent him the same back because what the hell does that mean? Use English, man. He sends like the face palm emoji and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is this? And so he asked me, obviously that if you have Snapchat, and so I say, yeah, I give him my Snap. Oh, okay, let's go talk on that. So he's being extra flirtatious, but like, he's being flirtatious but covert. Almost like writing the kind of messages that somebody who gets their messages read by another individual would write. So I thought it's like he's good looking but he's weird, so let me just stop interacting with him. I don't understand what's going on and I don't like it when I don't understand what's going on. So months later, I start talking to a guy who plays for that same academy. And so because my mind jogged back and I was like, hey, wait, I think I talked to a guy who played for this place. So I asked him, do you know insert name here? Do you know this guy? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, because like he was sending me messages and all these like weird emojis and shit and like flirtatious messages, but like I don't know. And so he looked at me with deep confusion as I was sitting on his lap, just setting the scene. Looked at me with deep confusion. And I was thinking to myself, why are you looking at me like that? And he's like, huh? He has a girlfriend and has had one for a long time. So I'm like, well, he was definitely sending these to me. Wow, that's crazy. And so you think the story ends there. This is a very mild story, but it doesn't end there. This guy, the next year, yes, it's been that long. The next year, when I make a second account, when I thought I'd actually bother running an IG fitness page, make a second account. Like, I was just following people to try and get the list up, like following people I know and shit to get the list up. Whoever comes up as a suggested that is a mutual of mine or mutuals with a mutual. So not like complete strangers to try and build a list, just like people I know of. Makes sense? So I follow him. And I don't really think anything of it because I followed a bunch of people. But then he starts getting into this weird pattern of being the very first person to watch my story seconds after I posted it on this account that only has like 300 followers. And then he would immediately afterwards post a story talking about, I love my GF. I love her so much. The first time that happened, because obviously I didn't watch his story every time, but the first time that happened, of course, I watched the story. And then it just kept happening, even when I wouldn't watch his story. This is like, he would just be the very first person. And I'm thinking to myself, what's this guy on? It didn't occur to me that people, there are guys who, they're down to cheat, but they're not going to make the first move. They're going to bait the other girl into trying to make the first move so that they don't look like a cheater. I didn't know about that back then. I didn't know about that concept. But when I did, I realized he's one slimy snake, because now you have this person who, and I'm sure that there are people who, obviously actually responded. But I don't like, I'm nobody's side ting, man. That's the thing. I would never purposely become somebody's side ting. That's actually, I have self-esteem. I was loved at home. So obviously, I didn't interact with him. Technically, at the time he was doing this, I had stopped interacting with him. But it's just a very interesting story to see how some guys like, hold on, you're that desperate to cheat? Now you're probably saying, it could have been a sign just to ward you off. Okay, but he moved to me. And obviously I know about this Uno reverse card. It's actually just so that you could never message the girl coming to her as a woman saying, see your man messaged me, because it's going to show that it was you first. Or all he sent was an emoji. You can't possibly... It's an interesting trick. Nasty little trick, but quite interesting. So no matter what, you look crazy. It's like people who send you messages and then delete it. Like, let's say somebody popular sends you a message and then you don't reply how they want. So, like, they delete it. And so now, if you tried to tell someone that story directly, you would just look crazy. Which is why there's a bunch of stories that I don't tell. Like, them people, like, this is why you don't see me like, this rapper said, this rapper in my DM said, this. That's why you don't see that, because I don't want to make myself look crazy just for like a singular story time. It's like, no, I like messages. I like cautionary tales. If I want to make myself look crazy, I'm going to at least make it funny. Yeah, also I'm self-aware enough to think, I'm just thinking of other ways that this could have been spun, because it's such an interesting concept. If we remove the fact that you know how that works, but nah, because I've had more similar interactions with people, that was just the first time from when I was clueless about it. It's like, oh no, so this is a thing that some guys will do. Wow. Mad sneaky.